Mo, what do you got for us?
Well, I know our next guest could probably weigh in a lot on that, but we're not talking about that right now. We're talking about kids and keeping them safe this summer. It is 9:14 right now. So, you know, actress Bella Thorne, she's fighting back on social media against an alleged hacker. She says that someone was threatening to post nude photos of her. So before they could do that, she posted a bunch of topless photos to her Twitter account. She did this herself. Thorne says she and the suspected hacker exchanged text messages and screenshots. She says she believes the person is around 17 years old. She also says that releasing the photos first is a way for her to remain in control of her life. You've seen other celebrities kind of do this, thwart an extortion or something attempt by releasing whatever information on their own. Thorne is not the first one, as I said, whose privacy photos were hacked. We have Jennifer Lawrence, Rihanna, Kate Upton, and others were hacked in 2014. Now, Thorne has been speaking out about the incident. She says, I feel gross. I feel watched. I feel someone has taken something from me that I only wanted one special person to see. Well, with that is why we're doing this next segment. Parents, you have to listen up. Celebrities are not the only people who deal with the issues of hackers and threats. According to the FBI, sextortion cases, they're up 60% in the last 5 years. And now the agency is launching a national campaign to raise awareness about the growing risk of sextortion scams targeting kids and teens, especially this summer. The Innocent Lives Foundation, which is a nonprofit organization that works closely with law enforcement agencies to try to bring child predators to justice. This morning, former FBI agent and Innocent Lives Foundation board member Robin Dreeke joins us with tips to protect your child this summer. And good morning to you.
Hey, good morning. Thanks for having me.
I know it was a lengthy introduction, but it was just to highlight exactly, the ways that people can fall prey. You and I talked a little bit before. Right. I've got a young one, and I worry all the time whenever she goes to her iPad that she may be exposed. Is that a valid concern?
It's definitely a valid concern. Social media sites, whether it's Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, all these things, they're great platforms and they're very good to use and enjoy, but at the same time, though, they're targeted and used by nefarious individuals that are looking to exploit our children.
Is there something that we're doing that exposes ourselves, or are these people sort of just lurking and looking for any open opportunity?
Yes.
Yeah.
They're always looking for opportunities, and one of the ways they're looking for opportunities is tagging or hashtagging photos of your children, or even when they're posting themselves, like if they put on their bath time, spring bikini, all these types of things, because one of the ways they'll start is they'll take regular images that your children are updating, especially if they're at the beach or something like that, and they're manipulating them to make them, sexual in nature. Wow. And then they're looking at their social networking friends, and then they're trying, they'll threaten them to expose them to other people. Yeah, there's a lot of things they'll do.
Now, so is that sounds like a threat, but is that also part of the grooming that we sometimes hear about that these predators do with their potential victims?
Grooming is part of it as well. Yeah. There's a lot of ways to do this. Grooming, they use a lot of the gaming sites that are networked as well.
Oh, wow. Gaming.
Posing as, other teenagers or other kids on there, and they'll try to then shift it from the chat through the game to another private chat. And they're looking for vulnerabilities, insecurities, and teenagers are full of insecurities. And and a lot of times they'll exchange an image with them first to try to get their guard down and get a quid pro quo going. And once that first image of any sort is exchanged, well, then that's where the sextortion starts.
Well, I know there are a lot of parents saying it could never happen to me. I'm a vigilant parent. There's no way I regulate what my kids are doing. And yet we see instances where, even the best parents, this can happen to their kids. What can we realistically do? Is the onus on parents? Is it on the kids? Who should be at the forefront of this?
I think about this a lot because it's a really big challenge. I mean, if we had a silver, bullet answer for this, it wouldn't be happening.
That's true.
I really believe that it comes down to good, healthy relationship with your children, first and foremost. Have that open dialogue and communication, and have them understand, one, have a good dialogue with them about what sextortion is, what appropriate behavior is on the internet, and if they're a little bit younger, maybe not the harsh words, but at the same time, though, having that exchange and open dialogue about appropriateness and non-appropriateness, and also know everyone that they're communicating with. My wife did a great job of this with our kids growing up, and that is, at the end of every day, there's a daily debrief. What did you do all day? Who did you talk to? Who did you chat with? And tell me about that person. Do you know that person? And if you don't know them in real life, I wouldn't be exchanging any communication with them whatsoever.
So in my case, God forbid, you run into somebody and you see this, do you report that person, and who do you report it to, your local police agency?
Sure, and you can start there, but also the FBI does have tip line. Okay. If you're not comfortable going to law enforcement, you can come to the Innocent Lives Foundation. We take tips all the time as well, because what we do is we hunt down these anonymous people to try to positively ID them and give them over to law enforcement.
I feel like we're only just scratching the surface of what this is all about. Besides the grooming, do you just lock your kids in a bubble and say you cannot come out until you're an adult. I know that's not realistic, but when they go off to places like, say, camp, and maybe a friend's house, and maybe they're not under your watch and control, is there anything you can do?
Again, you just got to keep vigilant on the communication with them and make the other parents aware as well. You know, communication with the parents. You know, healthy relationships will undermine all this. You know, and that's what children are looking for, and that's what they need. And the big thing also is have them not be fearful of reporting anything. Like, because a lot of times they think, oh my gosh, I've done something wrong, and that's when the psychological trauma really starts. And make sure they understand if all of a sudden they fell prey and made a mistake, tell you right away. Because we can work on it together and make sure things are all right.
And you should never, I'm imagining, never give in to the demands of anyone telling you I'm going to do X if you don't do
Absolutely.
Y.
This is the first time anyone makes a demand of you of any sort for any reason. You've got to report it to your parents or safe adult.
It's so unnerving. It's so unnerving, you know, and I hear Holly, a fellow mom there saying, oh my God, it is so unnerving because you think you're doing everything right. And yet you just never know.
I know, it makes you paranoid, but it's all good. It's all good advice, and I guess just, you know, like you said, keep the dialogue open.
Keep the dialogue open and maintain a good, healthy communication.
Robin, is there a website that you can give us again that we can go to if we want more?
Sure. InnocentLivesFoundation.org, all one word. Lots of good tips, lots of good articles and information on there that we keep updating because we're constantly looking for the new ways the predators are attacking or trying to target our children. And also we take donations.
It never hurts. Every bit
Absolutely.
helps. We know you made a long trip this morning. Thank you for that. Your information has been incredibly helpful, especially for a lot of us whose kids are heading off to camp for the first time today, this summer.
I know. I saw the segment this morning. It's a great idea, though, because it keeps them doing things rather than wasting time gaming, which is where, you know, they'll get really fall prey to.
Okay.
And the daily debrief starts in my house today.
Exactly. Exactly.
Thank you
so much.
Thank you very much.
All right, over to you.